everybody, welcome to my messy office. I'm Elizabeth from totalwellnesshealthcoaching.com. My YouTube channel is actually called Functional Medicine Living. I used to be Our Paleo Family. I've changed my name as kind of our lives have changed, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If you have an opinion on that, let me know. So welcome. I'm going to do a day in the life today, which I haven't done that, I don't think, ever. But I have a few things going on around the house today. My kids are working at a local camp, and so even though they're teenagers and really independent, you know, just when your kids are around, you're involved with them, and they're asking you questions, you're having conversations and stuff, at least ideally. And so they're not here, so I have a little more space for me and my projects. So today I'm going to take you on a little garden tour. Last year, at least I think it was last year, it might have been 2 years ago now, I showed you my garden pretty regularly, and we took a break from that, not gardening, but there wasn't anything super exciting or new to show you, so I quit showing you. But we do have a little bit new, a little bit exciting happening out there, so I'll show you that. I have a Thrive Market, which I talk about them all the time, so I thought, you know, just let me show you what came in my latest box. And I am introducing you to a little, well, not little, I think every little project, like in your mind, it might be little or it starts little and it gets really big really fast. But I have a little home redecorating project. I'm going to give you a before, and I will try to kind of take you along if you're interested in that. I know y'all came to me originally for recipes, and that is still really what I'm doing. What I want to help you do is learn how to cook in a way that really supports your health, which mainly means paleo, definitely gluten-free. I just have been kind of in a cooking rut lately. I did see somebody left me a comment and asked for a spaghetti and meatballs recipe, which is a great suggestion. I love suggestions. I've made so many different types of meatballs through the years. Meatballs are just really cumbersome, and it's like, to me, of course, I'm not Italian, so that's not part of my heritage, but I think, why go to all the effort to make a meatball when you can just like brown some meat and put it in your tomato sauce? But anyway, I love that idea, and so that is definitely something I'm working on. If you have ideas or suggestions for recipes, please throw them out there in the comments. I always need new ideas, especially like right now with my kids gone so much. I'm adjusting to cooking for two, but yet we need leftovers, and sometimes they're home, and so my cooking, I guess, strategy is really all over the place, which just means that the planning is even more important. I did not mean for this intro to be so rambling, but my point was, I know y'all originally came to me for cooking, or at least those of you who've been with me for a long time. But you know, we're all multi-dimensional. We have all these different parts to ourselves, and so I love getting those little sneak peeks into other people's lives, and I thought you might enjoy that as well. But I always love your feedback, so let me know what you like to see, and I hope you enjoyed this following along on my little day in the life. So we had grand plans to redo the garden this year, and we got started and everything. We took apart the old beds, which were, the boards were really rotting, and I've got it laid out. I have four about 5 foot square beds, my fence around. We had it all planned, and then went to get the wood, and the prices were just, I mean, outrageous, and I refused to pay what I felt like was really a just very artificially inflated price. And so you can see there we have the 2 posts for the garden gate, which we will hopefully have in about a year. We had taken, like I said, all the beds apart, and my husband cut them down to, you know, put them in the dumpster to go to the like the yard waste recycling. And then he went to get the new boards, gave me the price. Actually, he bought them, and I said, take those back. It was just astronomical. Please pardon my voice. I'm on week 3 of COVID now. I'm feeling much better, but I still have my deep voice happening. So I just went out and I decided to take all those boards from the old beds that he had cut down, and I sort of pieced together the garden bed in the design that I want, and thought, well, this is a great opportunity to actually try it out. See, do I like the shape of these beds, the sizes, the spacing between the beds and the fence. So I think it's fine. We do have a serious rabbit problem, and so we have the rabbit fence up, and it's just a constant fight to keep them from destroying everything. But I'll show you one of my tools for that in just a second. Let me just take you in the garden and show you what we have going on this year. It's early June 2022. I planted April 15th. That's our frost-free date here in Zone 7. If you don't know about the gardening zones, I'll put a link to that down in the description box. So we usually plant April 15th. My family usually goes on vacation in early May, and my dad, the master gardener, takes care of everything. And so he keeps everything alive and flourishing, and then we come back and are about ready to harvest. So it's a really good deal. Of course, I share the veggies with him. So we're going to walk through our gate, which feels very fancy and official. I have 4 beds. I tried to scale down a little bit and just make it more manageable, thinking about I'm getting older. My kids are getting close to leaving home. Believe it or not, I feel like they were just born, but here we are. I'll have a senior and a sophomore this year. So it's more on me. So I really, if I'm redesigning, building new beds, I wanted to make it a reasonable, manageable size. So I have these 4 square beds. Over here I have, I believe this first one is a red, just a large red tomato. And then I have 3 of my lemon boys, which are my favorite. They're yellow, they're a mild, less acidic. Let me show you one that's ripening down here. See that guy right there? He's almost ready. The rest of this bed has okra, but you can see some on there actually. You see the little yellow flower, and this is the actual okra pod. Here's one over here that's actually about the size you want to pick. There's a whole bunch of little ones. They just grow from the very beginning. They'll start growing. I'll be able to harvest some this week, but they will end up, 10, 12 feet tall plants. I'll have to stake them eventually. So I used to have these big metal poles that I would then string up my tomatoes, which is ugly, but it worked super well. And with redesigning the whole garden, we didn't want to put those back up yet. So we'll see how it goes with just the good old-fashioned tomato cages this year. They're not super sturdy, but I wanted to, again, go kind of easy and low maintenance. So we'll see how that works out. In this bed, I have yellow squash, which super ready to pick. These are yellow crookneck. Get my pan. These are my grandma's old dish pans that I use in the garden. I'm gonna have some oven fried squash this week. I have that recipe. I redid my website, so I'm having to redo all my recipes. So I'll have to do that one for you. I'm also gonna do a what we eat in a week video, so be on the lookout for that. Here in the middle, I have bell peppers. You can see the little white flowers. They're just getting. Oh, these are actually my jalapenos. Let's see if I can show you one right there. Those will be ready to harvest earlier than my bell peppers, which are over here. All right, in this bed, let's see here. Here we go. We've got zucchini. There's a nice big one here. I'm gonna let him get a little bit bigger. The yellow squash you want to pick really small, but the zucchini can get a little bit bigger. There's another one hiding down in there. And then I've got cucumbers, trying to get them to grow up this post right here. A teeny little one there. More zucchini over here. Just looking to make sure there's not a giant one. Gotta watch out for copperheads. Nope, no cukes. At the end here, in both beds, you can see the little yellow flowers. These are cantaloupe, which supposedly we can grow watermelon and cantaloupe here, but I've never had great success with watermelon, but usually the cantaloupes do pretty well. The big Athena cantaloupe. And then I have more bell peppers in the center. You see a little one right there. These are the kind that they'll be green. You can pick them green or you can let them go and they will turn yellow, red, orange. So in this bed I have a lot more okra. You see lots of teeny little okra pods. And more tomatoes. So these are my cherry tomatoes. And these are the ones that get really big and unwieldy and really need some serious staking. So we'll see. I've got, I think I planted 3 of the cherries. Yeah, you can see a couple bunches of them right here. And then another, I think this is another yellow down here, because those are our favorites. My parents' favorite too, so we plant a lot for them. Yeah, there's another group of cherry tomatoes down there. See those guys? All right, so that's what's happening in the garden. Here's my big hydrangea bush. I transplanted some and they just take a ton of water, and so that guy didn't make it. I've got a little one down here that is struggling between needing a lot of water and the rabbits. See how the rabbits ate off the liriape here and here. See, these chives used to be inside the garden, but we're trying to make just a square rectangle fence. Japanese maples are pretty. Got another hydrangea back here. Little seating area. See all my metal poles back there. All right, so that's what's happening in the garden today. So I told you I would talk to you a little bit about my rabbit defenses. Let me just show you real quick. So we have our rabbit fence, which is really not ideal. When we build our real fence, of course, we're gonna have a tighter fencing and it will be buried. For now, we're just working with what we have, and like they can get through this. So when I laid the mulch, I really, I can't think of the word, just what I'm doing right here. I put the mulch up against the bottom from the inside and the outside, which of course with rain and time and just the fence being open and closed, that's kind of moving away. So I'm having to pay attention to that. A couple places where it was a little bit harder to fill the gap. You see I have some over here. There are some concrete blocks and some bricks, just things we had around our property, some big stones and things I've put in a few places. So I do that. And then also the most effective repellent I found, sorry for the view of the trash cans, is this one. It's called Liquid Fence, deer and rabbit repellent. And it smells terrible. It's like putrefied egg solids and garlic and other things. It just smells terrible, but it really does work. You just have to be very consistent with it, very heavy-handed. You can see right behind here how they've eaten off that liriape. Let me show you my hostas over here. I apologize for it's not weeds, these are little baby red buds that pop up. But see all those nice little, looks like green grass. Those are hostas. They should have big, beautiful leaves, and the rabbits just absolutely decimate them. So very consistently, I'm spraying my liquid fence really every couple days. And this is a concentrate. It was all I could find last time I was out of it. So I had this bottle. This is another brand, this I Must Garden, and They make squirrel repellent and snake repellent and like everything under the sun. To me, this brand works for a very short time. Then I think the animals get used to it. So anyway, I'm just using this as my spray bottle where I dilute this big one. I definitely recommend the Liquid Fence brand if you can find that, and it does work for deer and rabbits as well. So that is our rabbit deterrent strategy, just trying to stay on top of it, or they will absolutely destroy everything. I got a Thrive Market box yesterday, and so I saved it so I could show it to you today. I talk about Thrive all the time. This is not sponsored, though I would love it if they would sponsor my channel. But I've been a huge fan for many, many years and continue to, I order from Thrive usually twice a month. We buy a lot of our health and beauty from there. I do sell Beauty Counter. I'm very proud of that. They're a great company with healthy skin and beauty products. I've actually never found makeup from another brand that I like better than Beauty Counter. But I do buy some shampoo and lotions and other things like that from Thrive, just because a little bit more affordable, and we like them as well as some of the Beauty Counter products. My kids, husband, everybody uses shampoo and stuff we buy from Thrive. Lots of snacks, shelf-stable things. So I just thought I'd show you what I get from Thrive since I talk about them all the time. All my flours, like to make my homemade gluten-free flour, the arrowroot, tapioca, sorghum, all that stuff all comes from Thrive. One thing also I've said about Thrive from the very beginning is that their packaging, their shipping has been amazing since the very beginning, and everything is packed super well. The boxes are really sturdy. Usually I end up saving these for storing or shipping things to other people, but they are all 100% recyclable. It even says it right here, 100% recyclable and sent with carbon neutral shipping. So your box, sturdy box, but it also will have this internal structure depending on how big your box is. Usually I have a fairly large box, and so it keeps things safe and not broken. We have all of this, again, recyclable cardboard packaging. Lots of snacks in this one because it's summertime. So I've got these chips. Thrive has increasingly started producing their own house brand, and so some of the brands I used to buy, I think it was Kettle brand, had avocado oil chips, and I can't find those on Thrive anymore, but they have their own house brand, and they're very good. The kids love the barbecue ones, and I don't, so I buy those, no temptation for me. Siete are the grain-free tortilla chips. They make like flour tortillas now, which I can usually buy the plain chips and the flour tortillas at Costco, but they make a bunch of different brands, and these are dairy-free nachos, so like a Dorito type thing. So I just thought I would try those. Usually when I order from Thrive, I try something new. Just, they have a new brand or a new flavor or something, and so I'm just experimenting. I bought these this time because the kids were asking for freezer pops. They want the cheap kind that, like, they're usually in the produce section at the grocery store, like in the big net bags, and they're just the long things that you freeze, and they're full of nothing but corn syrup and flavorings. So these are the same thing, but they're Do Good Pop, and 100% fruit juice, fruit punch, cherry limeade, Concord grape. Yeah, those are the 3 flavors. And it was so funny. I read the reviews of these, and somebody said, they came melted. And so I looked them up, and it says, shake, freeze, and enjoy. So they're shipped room temperature, and you just kind of give them a shake, and then lay them in your freezer. So that will be a treat for my kids when they get home from camp. These are a treat for me. I usually order myself a bag of these. This Quinn brand makes a lot of different types of gluten-free pretzels, and the peanut butter filled ones are my favorite. I know this is like a super cheap snack. You buy in like huge tubs at gas stations and stuff, but not gluten-free. So to have a gluten-free version is a big treat, and so I'll buy myself usually a bag of those. Okay, here comes some good stuff. We've got our dish soap. Everything is just at least 25% cheaper than the grocery store, usually more because they have a lot of sales, and so I'll buy things when they're on sale. In fact, if it weren't for sales, I'd probably just save up and order once a month just to kind of reduce the shipping. But it seems like every month they have a sale on it. It'll be paleo stuff, or it'll be all the gluten-free stuff, or it'll be health and beauty, something like that, that just kind of prompts me to buy and stock up. Prices are only going up. So as long as I'm keeping within that monthly budget, when I find things that we use, like, need, are available, I go ahead and buy them, especially if they're on sale, because next month this is going to cost $1 more potentially. So this is the 7th generation dish soap. It's the one I like the best. So you saw the liquid stuff will come in these plastic bags, again, recyclable, and then they almost always have tape. Anything that's kind of likely to open up, they'll tape the lids closed. So I got some dish soap. This is my daughter's shampoo. She has like a dry scalp, and so this is the tea tree version from Giovanni. So we like that for her. Thrive Market almond milk is my favorite. This is shelf stable, but then once you open it, it lasts a long time in the fridge. And let me check. You know, they, just like all brands, they'll change their ingredients, so you have to, you need to check. You can't just say, well, I've been buying this for years and it's been fine, because sometimes they change the formulation. But this had just been almonds and water. Water, organic sweet almonds, organic sunflower lecithin, and sea salt. So the sunflower lecithin is like a preservative. A little bit of that is A-okay. So then another way of wrapping, usually the cans come this way, sometimes glass bottles as well. This is, what did I buy? What did I buy? Oh, this was, so Primal Palette is a brand of paleo, or at least primal, products that I love, but they're super expensive at the grocery store, like $10 for a jar of mayo kind of thing. But Primal Kitchen was having a sale. It was like, if you bought 2 Primal Kitchen products, they sent you 2 free Primal Kitchen products. So I decided to try, this must have been a free one. This is the no dairy queso style dip. So I just won't tell anybody that that's dairy free, and they'll probably love it. We'll give that a try. Let's see, what's this one? Some kind of sauce or dressing. I make a ton of my own dressing, but sometimes it's just super convenient to have a packaged one. And again, I won't usually buy these at the store because they're so expensive, but when I find a sale. So it is a little irritating when you're trying to get into your stuff and everything is packaged so well, but you appreciate it that you don't have a mess in your box. Classic unsweetened barbecue sauce. Those must be the 2 free things, because I don't believe that's what I would have picked out. Again, I mentioned it when I was out in the garden, but I did get COVID. We were actually on a 2-week vacation. It was our 20th anniversary, and got COVID at the very end of it. And so that's why you haven't seen much from me lately, because my brain has not been working. And I'm feeling much, much better. My energy is up. I actually worked out today. But my voice is still raspy. And I hope that goes away. I did lose my taste and smell for a good week and a half, and that was really miserable. But it led me to write a blog post for you, what I cooked while I had COVID, because it was important to get some good nutrition, but I couldn't taste anything. So check out that blog post. I'll link it down below too. Okay, this is what I bought. I just had to buy 1 Primal Kitchen product, and then they sent me these 2 free things. And I decided to get their no soy teriyaki sauce and marinade. We love Asian flavors. We cook a ton of that kind of stuff. So like, this will be great for camping, because I'll often do a chicken or a beef stir fry. That's a really easy camping meal, because you can chop up your meat ahead of time, stick it in the freezer, throw in a couple bags of frozen stir fry veggies. You can make rice easily on the camp stove, or you can make it ahead of time and just heat it up. And then instead of having to mess with a bunch of ingredients to make a homemade sauce, throw something like this in my kitchen box, and we're good to go. But also, we always have coconut aminos, which is our paleo soy sauce. Okay, more snacks for summer. Have you had these Good Crisp Company? They are a gluten-free, healthier version of Pringles. I mean, it's still a chip, right? But they are certified gluten-free and non-GMO, and have
pretty clean ingredients. So sea salt and vinegar, those are for me. I think my daughter likes those too. Some things with Thrive are so inexpensive that they require you to buy 2 of something. So these chips are in that category. These are usually $4 to $5, depending on what store you find them in. Sometimes you can get them on sale at Whole Foods and such. But they're like $2.79, maybe $2.49 from Thrive. Plain ones for my son. I guess I got 3 of those. Chomps. Chomps are our favorite meat stick, which, like, I sent my kids with some this week because they're eating camp food, and they'll do gluten-free and peanut-free and that kind of thing for the kids with allergies, but they often will not feed them enough protein. So anyway, I sent them with a bunch of chomps, so I needed to restock. This is the jalapeno beef one. We like the original beef and the jalapeno beef. There's just a teeny bit of spice. They have a really good flavor. A lot of these meat sticks kind of make me nauseous, even just like the smell of them. But chomps are awesome. Highly recommend. And then Thrive Market's plantain chips. My son likes these. I like these. When we have taco night, that sort of thing, I don't do very much corn. And so if I happen to not have the CHA Foods grain-free chips, if I want a chip, I'll use the plantain chips. So that was my Thrive box. So it's pretty representative. I didn't get any real canned goods this time. Usually I'll get some canned tomatoes, tomato paste, fire-roasted tomatoes, that kind of thing. I didn't get any flours because I've been out of town. I haven't been doing any baking. So my flour stock is set right now, but lots of snacks for summertime, going to the pool, that sort of thing. A treat with the popsicles and then just a little bit of household stuff. Again, I highly recommend Thrive. I'll put my link down below. If you use my link, it changes, but sometimes you get $30 off your first order. Sometimes it's $40 off. And then usually like an additional percentage. You can sign up for an annual membership, which is a little cheaper. It's just right under $60 a year. I believe they also have a monthly option now. But I think once you try it and you see the difference in prices compared to Whole Foods, it is more expensive to eat this way. We're spending our money on food instead of groceries or instead of medicine. We've talked about that a lot of times here. So we're committed to buying the higher quality foods, even the junk food type things. And it's just more expensive. And so that $60 membership, we make it up easily with the savings. Whenever I'm out of an ingredient or something and have to run to Whole Foods and buy it, it's killing me inside that I'm paying $8 for a bag of arrowroot when it's 3 or 4 from Thrive Market. So anyway, if you haven't tried Thrive Market, you have nothing to lose. You can do a free month trial. You get the benefit of the super discount and just see what is available, what's available that your family uses, compare the prices, and see if you think it would be a good fit for you. Thanks for following along a little bit in this day in the life. Went to the garden. Now we open Thrive Market. I think I'm going to do some chores. So that'll be super exciting. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. See you in a little bit.
Hey there, everybody. I've got one more installment or segment, I guess, for our just day in the life kind of vlog. And that is I want to show you my dining room because I'm about to do a little redecorating. So let me swap the camera around and get myself out of the picture. And I'll show you this we'll do a little before tour on my dining room. So when you come in my front door, we have the stairwell right here. To the left is the schoolroom, which is it's actually in pretty good shape for the schoolroom. Straight through, we have family room and sunroom. The kitchen is back in the right corner. But over to the right, we have the dining room, our formal dining room. Our house was built in the 80s, so this is kind of that typical 80s style, at least for North Carolina where we live. And we loved this large dining room because we like to host family for holidays and that sort of thing. So when we bought the house, the people had just done some redecorating. It's kind of light remodeling. They put in this wallpaper, which is this dark burgundy with kind of a gold pattern. It's really, really beautiful, in my opinion. We moved in about 18 years ago. So this dark burgundy, it was very in style at the time. It's pretty dated now. They did put in this light fixture, which I actually still really love. I don't know or care whether it is dated or in style, but I like it. We bought this furniture, this pretty walnut china cabinet, the table which extends out. It doesn't have any of the leaves in it right now, but it has 2 leaves, so it can fit about 12 people pretty comfortably. Sometimes I think we've had up to 14 because we can put 2 at each end. But anyway, so we have the table and chairs, we have the china cabinet, and then over there's the kitchen through there. I've got my videography stuff out. And then we just have this real narrow kind of buffet table against the wall there. So we have this wall which could fit the china cabinet, except that it has the air return down there in the corner, which we really don't feel like we should block with the china cabinet. So the china cabinet has to go on that wall. And then we have the bay window over there, which has that kind of dropped ceiling, which I've painted it like a tan color, the color that's in the wallpaper, because when it was white, it really was stark and it stood out, and I didn't like the way that looked. I've had curtains up here, just some panels and kind of that same tan color with just a little trim that I made years and years ago, but they were really just looking worn and old and bothering me. So as I was thinking about redecorating, I thought, you know, I want to start by taking those curtains down to kind of just open up the space and let me be able to visualize a little bit better. So this is the before. Again, the people that had the house before us had put in the wallpaper, but below that chair rail, it was just white. And it just, to me, looked unfinished, and there was too stark of a contrast. So I painted below the chair rail just kind of the same background color as the walls. And we've enjoyed it for all these years, but I'm ready to lighten it up, quite frankly. And so I kind of have a vision in mind of what I would like. And actually, I found this plate at a Home Goods, just, you know, discount store. And this is kind of the look that I want. That, I don't know if I'm going to say it properly, but the chinoiserie, sort of Chinese watercolor type style, big birds, flowers, and light colors. You see that plate has greens in it, which works with the rest of my house. Let me show you, the kitchen is a mess, but let me show you just a little bit. My wall color is this kind of sagey green, and my curtains have the burgundies, golds, greens, and it, even though my family room, gosh, I wasn't planning to take you on a whole tour. The family room has some green, but also has some of that sort of sea, I don't know what to call it, like a tealy blue color. And I'm hoping to bring in more of that blue into the dining room. So in the entryway, we have this old rug that's kind of falling apart. So I'm wanting to replace that rug with something in the lighter tones, but bring in some of the blue. I don't want to have to, I've painted the whole house, and I really don't want to have to repaint all my walls. I like this wall color just fine. And so I want to find things that will blend with the rest of the house, but also lighten up the dining room. This room had curtains that matched in the dining room, so I'll, you know, ideally find something to match again. So I thought I would give you this little before, because this summer, as the kids and my husband even are gone for some extended camping trips, my goal is to redo this room. So I'm headed out today to a wallpaper store to see if I can find wallpaper in a style that I like. And if not, then I will go to a fabric store and see if I can find fabric for curtains that I like, and allow one of those two things to be my kind of my jumping off point for decorating this room. I didn't show you this rug. This is a beautiful oriental that my parents gave us that just matched beautifully and we've really enjoyed it. They actually would like to have it back for their retirement home, and so that's fine. We'll give it back to them, and we'll go with something hopefully a little bit lighter to match my new style. So there's the before. We have a game going on the table that hopefully we'll finish at some point. And I'll take you along this summer as I hopefully remake this room. All right, well, thanks for joining me for this little just kind of day in the life, a few random things, show you what's going on in the garden, unboxing my latest shipment from Thrive, and then kind of some home decorating, redecorating before project information. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this. I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment, say hi, introduce yourself if you're new. And as always, if you haven't subscribed yet, I would love it if you would subscribe, like, share, do all those things to help my channel continue to grow. I hope you are having a happy and healthy day, and I'll see you next time.